So, welcome to the yin practice today. See if you want to start in a seated position or if you feel like starting lying down. So, instead of starting seated, maybe you feel like, okay, I want to just lay down. Don't fall asleep here at the beginning of the practice. But see if you, in that case, want to bring your knees towards each other. So, placing the feet a little bit wider and then dropping the knees towards each other, or if you feel like stretching the legs out. And from there, see if you can bring the shoulder blades a little bit more towards each other, placing your hands in your belly, maybe one a little bit lower, one a little bit higher. And taking deep breaths in. Full deep breaths out. Maybe you're used to starting your yoga practice in a seated position. Maybe you are in a seated position at the moment. Or maybe you chose to lie down, starting in a little bit of a different pose here at the beginning of your yin practice. Today's practice will be about stress relief. It will be about letting go of the physical tension that we sometimes hold on to in the shoulders, in the neck. And especially if you experience stress for a longer period of time, it's possible that you notice that this stress is also finding its way into the body. Maybe muscles that are tense, maybe headaches, maybe other physical sensations that you notice that are the result of maybe being stressed for a longer period of time. So you already found your way to your mat here today. So before we're going to start our yin practice, see if you can take a moment to say thank you to yourself. Thank you for being here, for taking the time to step on your mat and practice your yoga. And then see if you maybe notice that these past couple days or past couple weeks have been stressful. And if so, if you can allow yourself to release this, to allow yourself to use this yin yoga practice to release that stress that you're holding on to in your body. And releasing stress starts with breathing. See if you can follow the movement of your belly whenever you inhale. And then move movement of your belly when you exhale. And then from here, if you are in a seated position, slowly come and lay down as well. If you're already laying down, and see if you want to place your feet in the ground. Slowly open your eyes. And then grabbing either a block or a pillow, whatever you have laying around. I normally show this pose with a block. I will now show this one with a pillow. With the pillow, you can fold it in half so it's a little bit bigger depending on what kind of pillow you have. And what we're going to do is we're going to push the feet into the ground and then place a pillow or your block, depending on what you're using, underneath your butt. With the block, make sure that it's not underneath the lower back, it's not underneath the tailbone, it's in between, so it shouldn't hurt. If you're using a pillow, of course it can cover more of your butt and maybe a little bit of your lower back as well, as long as it is soft. And then from there, we're gonna bring the knees towards the chest for a reversed child's pose. And you can play with it to see if you want to keep the legs together, if you maybe want to move them just a little bit away from the belly, if you want to move the knees a little bit out to the side, depending on what your option is here today. You can keep your hands on your belly, you can always place them next to your body, whatever feels as the right option. And also here, see if you can use those deep breaths. And breathing deep will probably also have the effect that your knees will move a little bit. Whenever you inhale, your knees move a little bit away from you. Whenever you exhale, they drop more towards your chest. And this is not something that you have to be in control of. This will happen automatically. And if it's not really happening, make sure that you're still breathing, but also this movement is different for everyone. So don't focus too much on the movement. Bring the focus towards your breath. See if you want to stay here with the knees to your chest, or if you feel like slowly stretching the legs out into the air. Taking 3 more deep breaths here. Slowly bringing the feet back into the ground, lifting your butt up, removing your pillow or your block. And from there, bringing your knees towards your chest, maybe making a couple of circles here. And then from there, you're going to drop the knees towards the right side for a twist. But if you feel that you want a bit more, let's see if you want to stretch your right leg out. And then bring the left knee over to the right side, but in both options, making sure that the shoulder blades stay in the ground. So if this means that you want some support for the knee, or if you're doing it with both knees, maybe in between the knees or underneath both knees, and see if you want to wrap a pillow or a block and place it underneath the leg here. So you have some support so you can fully relax in the hip and in the leg. Also here, see if you want to keep your hands onto the belly or if you want to place them to the side. The extra option for the neck is to turn your head with your face to the left, so you're looking in the opposite direction of your legs. This is not comfortable. Then see if you want to keep the back of your head in the ground or maybe turn your face into the same direction as the legs. See what your option is. Taking 5 more deep breaths on this side. And slowly moving your knees back in the middle. Maybe making little circles here. And from there we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So when you're ready, either both knees together or maybe stretching out your left leg. And from there bringing your right knee towards your mat, either supported by a block or a pillow. See what you want to use here. As long as those shoulder blades stay in the ground, you can place your arms wherever you feel like. And taking 5 more deep breaths on this side. Slowly moving it back in the middle. Bring your knees all the way towards your chest. And then slowly making circles here. And circles the other way around. And slowly moving onto your side. Making yourself really, really small here by bringing those knees all the way towards your chest. Bringing your chin in a little bit more. Deep breath here. And from there, slowly move yourself up to a seated position. Gonna work a little bit more with relaxing the shoulders and the lower back and the back of the legs. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna stretch the legs out to the front. You can keep them completely relaxed. And then from there, your first option is to drop your head. And if you notice that you're dropping to the back, so you come and sit here a little bit more, and see if you want to take a blanket or a pillow and come and sit on top of it. And then from there, first option, dropping the head. Second option, maybe you want to move a little bit more to the front. You can always use a pillow to support yourself here, dropping your head. And from there, you can make your way down to whatever option feels like the right option for you today. taking 5 more deep breaths here. And then slowly moving all the way up again. And from there, we're gonna turn onto all fours, dropping your head. And then see if you slowly want to move from side to side. Just to create a little bit of movement in your body. Maybe some cat-cow. And from there, slowly bringing your butt towards your heels, bringing your head down on the ground. We're going to go for child's pose. And you decide if you want to keep your knees next to each other or if you want to open the knees a little bit more to the side, keeping your big toes together. See which option suits you here, also after that forward fold. And then you have another option if you chose that option to keep the knees next to each other, which is bringing your arms back alongside your legs and then dropping the shoulders a little bit more towards the ground. Taking deep breaths here. more deep breaths here. And slowly moving yourself back to all fours. Dropping your head, slowly moving from side to side. And from there, moving either your hands a little bit more to the front or maybe your knees a little bit more to the back, keeping your butt in one line with the knees, and then slowly going down for Anahatasana, melting heart. You can place your forehead down in the ground, or maybe you want to place your chin down in the ground. Most important thing here is to really keep your butt in one line with the knees. If you have the feeling that you're sliding to the front, then see if you want to move your butt a little bit back. If it's quite intense for the shoulders, you can always place the hands a little bit wider. This will help you to create more space for the shoulders. Staying here a little bit shorter, so for now, see if you want to take 3 more deep breaths here. When you're ready, slowly moving yourself to the front, going down into the belly, placing one cheek in the ground, arms next to your body. Closing your eyes here for a moment, releasing in the shoulders. Deep breaths here. Noticing how your shoulders doing, how your back is doing. Especially when you're stressed, we tend to bring the shoulders up towards the ears even more. We can also experience tension in the lower back. And one place that can also hold a lot of tension when we're stressed are the hips. So we're also going to pay some attention to the hips right now. Next inhalation, see if you want to bring your left knee in one line with your left hip. The toes are pointing outwards to the side. And then from there you can either keep your arms next to your body, placing a cheek in the ground, or placing your hands underneath your forehead. We're gonna go for a half frog. If you want an extra twist for the neck, then see if you want to turn your head to the other side so your face is in the opposite direction of your leg. Releasing in the shoulders again, in the hip. And for some people, this pose is actually really relaxing insofar that it even helps to fall asleep. If this happens, totally fine. Taking 5 more deep breaths on this side. And then from here, slowly bringing that left leg all the way down again. And maybe you want to place one cheek in the ground, bringing those arms next to your body. Just taking a couple of deep breaths here before we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And slowly, when you're ready, same thing on the other side. So this time, taking that right knee, bringing it in one line with the right hip. Toes again are pointing out to the right side. And then from there, you can place those hands underneath your forehead again, or maybe placing the right cheek in the ground to look in the opposite direction of your right leg. From here, closing your eyes again, bringing your full focus towards the right hip. Taking 5 more deep breaths here. And slowly move it back in the middle. And from there, turning yourself around so you end up onto your back. Maybe you want to place those hands upon your belly again and letting the knees drop towards each other. Or maybe you already want to stretch the legs out, letting the feet drop open to the side. Deep breaths in and full deep breaths out. It's time for the final relaxation for Shavasana. If you feel like rubbing a blanket or put something warm on, then take your moment here to do so. Afterwards, you come and lie down onto your back, maybe in the same way that you started this practice. Noticing how your body is doing. But most of all, how your mind is doing at the moment. Slowly start to move your toes. Start to move your fingers. See if you feel like stretching yourself all the way out before making yourself small again. From there, dropping onto your side before you come back to a seated position. Hands in front of your heart. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Namaste.